He knows for most of you. I know I'm just messing up your camera work on it. I'm sorry, I'll jump back up there in a second. He knows that for most of you, it's not going to be the typical thing that's going to knock you out of purpose. I mean, say for instance, let me find some guys here. What's your name, sweetheart? Brianna, how old are you? 18. Most likely he knows for Brianna that drugs is probably not going to do it. He knows that probably if he offers her a drink, that's not going to sway her too much. So probably the best plan for Brianna, or a girl like her would be, you know, like he's probably thinking, you know what, that's probably not going to work for the drug thing, but maybe if I can just set her up with the wrong guy, yeah, that would be awesome. I could just work out some relationships with her that get her totally distracted and try to get her so distracted that the prayer thing just won't even be that important to her anymore. Yeah, and I could cause her to fall so in love with that guy. Yeah, that's perfect. In fact, he could even be in the youth group, even better, and just be so carnal that he could take from her her purity. That'd even be more awesome. That way she'd be bound in a soul tie to him and never really be able to get over it. And that way, if she's bound in a soul tie, I can get her into condemnation, which would cause her to ultimately work so defeated that she'd never be able to release the will of God. That's perfect. Wrong relationship. Or maybe this guy over here who would say, maybe I know that I can't knock him out with, you know, some of this sexual sin, all this kind of stuff, but maybe I could just get him so wrapped up into sports that it would just become his whole world. And I'm not saying sports is bad unless it becomes an idol. But maybe he's thinking, if I could just get him so wrapped up into this thing that it would just consume everything about his life, then, you know, the things of God would just become so unimportant. All I'm telling you, kids, is whatever it takes, don't miss who he is and what he has for you because of a wrong relationship or some carnal and temporal thing that's going to pass away. This thing is winding down for us. This thing for our nation is winding down. And there's great urgency in the spirit. And God needs you. I need the band to go on up. God needs you, and he needs you right now. I was going to go on into some other stuff, but I feel like I'm going to just stop right here. Because there's some kids in here tonight that if you don't lay down some of the deeper things in your heart that you've not really wanted to deal with, you're never going to be able to walk in the fullness of the purpose of God. This thing really is all or nothing. This part-time thing, you won't last. And listen, honey, if you don't last, you're going to miss so much. It's not a matter of just because God's a mean God. It's just that you're going to miss so much of who he is and all that he has. God's not telling you to lay him down because he wants you to be sad for the rest of your life. But sweetheart, I want to tell you something. If you lay down that relationship that you already know is not right, I promise you, you'll live. You'll wake up in the morning and you'll survive. I want to tell you something, young lady. You can live without a boy right now. You're 16 years old. You have no business dating to begin with. Come
on, Mom.
God did not send you to Jesus Culture this week to find out who's here that you can check out. You're 16 years old. This is not even the season of your life to be distracted by such things as that. It's really not. It's just not this season. So why are you wasting your time? And it just makes me wonder. I just wonder who you would be. I wonder what you would be at 24 years old. If right now, while you're 15, you would set your face like flint. That you're going to sell out all of your teenage years. Uncompromised, fully, wholehearted, 100% to God. That you're going to dedicate all of your teenage years to do one thing. Listen to me. To do one thing. And that's to search out who the real God really is. And you're going to seek him with all of your heart, to know him and to know him intimately and to love him and to walk with him in relationship. And then you understand who he is and he reveals to you who you are, and then he brings to you your inheritance as a mate at the right time. And you don't walk around dating a bunch of people yours. I know that you may say, oh great, you already know who I'm talking to. You already know. The Lord has been telling you all along. I know your flesh wants this, but down in your spirit, you already know. You've been trying to ignore it because your flesh wants it so bad. But down deep in your spirit, there's a no. I don't care if he speaks in tongues and prophesies. If down in your spirit, there's a no. You could be dating somebody else's wife. Somebody else's husband. And the deal is, honey, listen, it's not that if you go marry the wrong one that you're not going to heaven. You may go to heaven, but you may never fulfill purpose.
Come on, yeah.
I want to say that to you again. You go ahead and pursue your flesh. Go ahead and satisfy your own desires. And come into covenant with the wrong one. You may go to heaven, but you may never fulfill your intended purpose on the earth. Because just like the stallion that was made to run, the wrong covenant partner with you will become a bridle to you the rest of your life. You'll always want to run, but you'll be held back to all that you could have been. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Don't miss your moment. Don't waste your time by frivolous temporal distractions and things that don't amount to a hill of beans, as we say in the South. That don't amount to anything. That have no eternal value or no eternal purpose. Listen to me. There's nothing in the world that matters more than this. Nothing. He's everything, guys. This world's passing away. Fast. Live your whole life wrapped up and consumed in everything and all of who He is. Every day, 24/7, stand up.